William Hill sponsors IFL TV.
I'm the man to beat Daniel Dubois. You're going to sleep.
This is UMAR for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. We're in New York City. It's fight week. It's not fight week for Carl Frampton, but it is for Boom Boom Tommy Cole. We'll talk about him in due course.
Yes.
But I just want to know what's going on with you, Carl. You've been given a date in August, is that correct?
I have been, but it's top secret, so I can't really say the date until everything's confirmed. But I've got a date that I'm training towards. Still waiting on a location and venue, but I've been told East Coast. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm training now. I'm training pretty hard. Obviously we're here with Jamie because Tommy's here, but it's a good excuse to come to New York and train and graft. And I feel like I've lost a little bit of weight considering I'm eating this lad. Steaks, they're bigger in my head.
Good steak on it last night.
Fantastic steak.
Yeah.
But no, it's good. It's been worthwhile, definitely coming out.
Mm.
I want to get to see AJ in the flesh. I've never seen him. I've seen him in the Olympics. I've never seen him box live. I've never been to one of his fights. So I'm really looking forward to that.
You've seen Tyson box live, haven't you? Have you not?
He was on my undercard, wasn't he, at Windsor?
Get that one in.
So I didn't see him.
You've seen Deontay box live?
No, he came into the change room to see me at Windsor.
Oh right, yeah.
Get a photograph.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
No, I'm joking.
No, I do.
He came in to just wish me well.
Yeah.
It was all American stuff, bluster, you know what I mean? But it was good. And it was good of him to come in.
God, that fight week was crazy in Windsor Park, wasn't it? It was that whole
Mental.
Billy Joe Wilder and Nando's thing.
Oh, that was mad. I forgot about that. Yeah. No, it was good. Big night for me.
Carl, talk to me a little bit about your deal with Top Rank and Bob Arum. How did that come about?
Obviously it came through MTK. And since I've joined MTK, things, I've lost a fight with Warrington, but in terms of the fights I'm getting and the opportunities, it's amazing. It's a long-term deal that MTK have got for me with ESPN and Top Rank. And it'll probably be meaning I'm with them until the end of my career, which isn't a bad thing. Top Rank, in my opinion, are probably the #1 promotional outfit on the planet. You've obviously got Matchroom, you've got Golden Boy, and Warren's doing pretty well these days as well. But you'd have to say that and Heyman obviously too. But you'd have to say that Top Rank is probably #1. So it's a great deal, fantastic deal, and coming off a loss as well, the Warrington, to be able to
Sign a deal with Bob Arum.
Sign a deal with Bob Arum. It shows you the power of MTK, and I'm very, very happy with it.
What have you made of the sort of collaboration MTK and ESPN as well? They'll get their shows shown on ESPN Plus.
It's great exposure, even for the small. You've got guys like Stevie Ward, who's over here training with me as well. He's boxing in the Ulster Hall in 3 weeks' time, and for a WBO European title on a fight that would normally go under the radar, but it's being shown on ESPN Plus. It's a massive deal for these guys, and great exposure for them all. All the MTK fighters are going to benefit from it, and they're going to be seen stateside. And we've seen that. I think ESPN Plus they were talking about the many subscriptions they have. I think there were 2 million getting mentioned, something like that.
On their
So
app, yeah.
potentially you're going to have a lot of eyes watching in the States, which normally wouldn't have happened.
They had a show in Dubai as well. That was on ESPN Plus, and got one in Kazakhstan. So it seems like MTK, we know how much they've grown already, but give it another 3 or 4 years.
You look at what they've done in such a small space of time, and it's not out of the question that in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, they are the biggest boxing organisation, or promotional managerial outfit in the world. You look at how quickly they've risen. It's amazing.
Well, they've got obviously Tyson Fury, Billy Joe Saunders,
Yeah.
yourself. In terms of, I've always wondered this, in terms of UK fighters, obviously you got Joshua, you got Fury, you got Amir Khan, big profile name. Where would you rank yourself? I've always thought you're at least top 5, if not 4th. Perhaps Dylan White's in there now as well.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't know. It's a difficult question to answer. Obviously, in terms of the UK, Josh is number 1 because he's the guy with all the belts. You've got Fury as well, but I think Joshua.
Commercially, Josh,
you look what he's doing. You see him everywhere. He's on, Beats and Lucasade and everything. That William Hill advert he's done is amazing. On did you see on Sky before the fight? So I think Joshua is the number 1 guy. Fury, then number 2. It's normal that the heavyweights get most of the attention, but for the little men, I've done pretty well. And obviously Amir Khan's a superstar as well.
When you look back at the Josh Warrington fight, obviously a brilliant fight to watch. Is there any? Obviously, there's going to be regrets, but is there any specific things that you think, oh damn, like?
Well, yeah. The only thing, like, I went into that fight knowing it was going to be a difficult fight, knowing that it was going to be physical, and he was strong and he was very fit, and I knew I was going to have to work hard. But what I never expected was that he'd be able to hurt me, and I don't know, maybe that's me being a bit naive, but you look at his record, and I've been in with some big punchers, bigger punchers by the looks of it than Josh Warrington, and his record doesn't suggest he's a puncher, but I just went into that fight thinking all them things, it's going to be physical, it's going to be tough, but he's not going to be able to hurt me. And he nailed me in the first round, he nailed me again in the second round, and after 2 rounds it felt like I'd already done 10, you know what I mean? I didn't use my feet as I would have liked. I got a bash. Don't know. I think it was like he must have, obviously accidental, but in one of the exchanges he bashed his knee into my quad. Some pretty severe bruising after it. So it hurt me and I couldn't get up on my toes how I wanted. But he won the fight by a mile. He won it fair and square. I feel like, I want to give myself any credit, I feel like I've done well to kind of win a couple of rounds in the middle and stay in there to the end after the first 2 disastrous rounds. But Josh won it from, it was as clear as day.
So his fight with Kid Galahad is coming up. Majority of people are picking Josh, but I've seen a few people give Kid a really good chance. I
understand why people would be picking Kid Galahad. He's a good fighter, and he's slick, and it could be awkward for a while, but I just feel like you hear these stories about how good he is in the gym and about him, boxing the head of people and sparring, but you look at his record and he's fought no one, absolutely no one. I think Josh Warrington will really be up for this. If I was Josh Warrington, the tactics in a fight with his tactics against me were to move around and then kind of pounce the last sort of half of the round, the last sort of minute of each round, and it was brilliant tactics, and they worked out well for him. In this fight, if I was Josh Warrington's team, I'd be saying be on him for every minute of every round and be in his face, and Galahad may win a few rounds at the start with Josh walking forward and trying to pile the pressure on, but I think Josh's work ethic, his strength, his power now, he's a puncher. I've never been hit like that in my life. The hardest puncher I've been in with, which is strange to say, he's knocked out 6 people, but I've never been hit like that. I think you could see Kid Galahad getting beaten up, and you could see the towel coming in later on. Honestly, I think he'll bash him, but it'll be competitive for the first sort of 4 rounds.
Okay. Carl, obviously we've just had a massive scandal in boxing with Big Baby Miller. 3 failed tests. Now, do you think Kid Galahad should even be getting the opportunity to fight for a world title against Josh Warrington, considering what's happened in the past?
I don't think any of them should, to be honest. But if other guys are getting opportunities, look at Canelo, for example. It's almost been brushed under the carpet, and he's the number 1 guy in the sport at the minute. So I don't think any of these guys should have the opportunity, but if other guys are going to get it, then you can't say, well, you're not going to get it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a sore point with me. Thinking about this morning, I was laying in bed actually, and this is strange. I don't know why I was thinking about it, but I feel like this the drug epidemic, whatever you want to call it, in boxing. I feel like it's rife right now. More and more people are getting caught. I'm guessing there's a lot more people doing it. But I'm happy knowing that what I've done in my career up to this point, I've done it without the use of performance enhancing drugs. I don't know how would you feel about doing it and winning the title and knowing that it would just be tainted, you know what I mean? I've won a title, I've got away with it, I haven't been caught taking drugs, but I am a world champion. I don't know, it doesn't sit right with me. But I think if you're giving everyone else opportunities and short bans and buy balls, I think that Galahad should get one too. And I think they should all be banned, obviously, but for life. You fail a drug test. But it's not going to happen, is it?
I've spoken to a fair few fighters who feel like they have boxed people who are on juice, but they haven't been caught out. Do you think you've ever boxed someone or been in a ring with someone and felt like, this doesn't feel right?
I don't know. It's a hard one. It almost sounds like an excuse from someone, you know what I mean? I fought someone, he was definitely on the juice. Well, has he been caught? No. So how do you know? No, I fought top quality fighters before. I fought some good opposition, but if people have, we do drug tests now, and at this stage of my career and where I am now, it's random and it's a lot of the time. So I can't say yes to that question when no one's been caught.
All right. When I was out here a few weeks ago for Crawford Khan, spoke to Bob Arum, and he said you will definitely be fighting Valdez this year, whether that's in August or whether it's the end of the year. What were your feelings towards that fight? Would you have preferred the Santa Cruz fight?
I kind of would have for a while, but I feel like I've been chasing Santa Cruz around, and I don't want to be like turning to Shannon Briggs chasing Klitschko around. You know what I mean? I've mentioned his name for 2 years now in every interview I've done. I get asked the question, I've brought it up as well, and it's kind of just went quiet, but it should have happened, it's going to be more difficult to happen now because I'm with Top Rank, and the fight probably seems further away than ever, but that's of no fault of my own. I've been happy to take that fight. I've been happy to travel to LA if they wanted me to go to LA to fight him, but for whatever reason it hasn't happened.
Okay, so most likely Oscar Valdez.
Most likely, he's with Top Rank. He's the easiest fight to make of the champions that are champions at the minute. So Valdez is an exciting fight. I think it's a fight that kind of interests me a lot, and one I would be up for. And again, it's different than a fight with Warrington because I don't know. It's going into the Warrington fight again. I underestimated his power. But someone like Valdez, he could turn your lights out if he nails you. And it was similar with Dinero, that left hook, I'm on it and really edgy. Even Kiko, like you're really on it when I fought him. Quigg was a puncher, and you're weary of their power. Warrington, I wasn't. With Valdez, I'd be going into that fight, knowing that any mistakes, any slip-ups, then it could be lights out. So it's an interesting fight. It's one that we've talked about with Jamie for quite a while. Jamie's always been fancied that fight, and I fancy it too.
Mentioning your trainer Jamie Moore, interviewed him, I think it was Monday when we got here to New York, and he said that if you fight Valdez and beat him, he'd want you to retire then. He wouldn't want a rematch with either Josh Warrington or a fight with Kid Galahad. That was just his opinion though. Is there any reason why he's saying that, you think?
I've talked about it. I don't even know if I spoke to Jamie about it, so it's interesting that he's saying that because, in my opinion, I was thinking about it. Like, imagine what it would be like he always want to retire on top. You know what I mean? Imagine what it would be like to get a win against Valdez and just say, "That's it, done. See you later. I've done it. I've won a title back." Something that people thought I could never do because I'm over the hill. So it would be a good one to go out on. But when you win a title and you become a champion, obviously there's going to be big offers coming after that, and it's always going to be difficult to hang them up. But I've promised my wife there's not too much longer. I haven't got too much longer left in this game, and she's happy enough with that. So don't want to go on forever, but who knows what's going to happen. If I got a Valdez fight and I won it, it would be difficult to retire, but who knows.
Is there any preference? Say you beat Valdez and you wanted to carry on. Is there any preference to you in terms of Josh Warrington or Kid Galahad you'd want to fight? Because obviously Josh, you've got that personal loss to him, and with Kid Galahad, it just seems like you don't like the guy. So,
preference probably Warrington because he's beat me. Again, Kid Galahad. Not that I don't like him. Well, I don't really like him. You know, he's just a bit of a joker, isn't he? And you know, I don't know. Obviously, what he's done, and he's a cheat, and he's a proven cheat. I don't like cheats, especially in this game. But Warrington's beat me, so if it was going to be one of the two, I would say Josh Warrington.
We've also got Gary Russell Jr. in the mix. I mean,
great fighter.
Yeah.
Great fighter, quality fighter, and one that's been. I don't understand. His career's strange.
Very weird. I mean, like he just boxed Kiko Martinez, didn't he?
Yeah, strange fight, Kiko Martinez. Fair play to Kiko. He won the European title back. He seems like he's been in the game forever. And he got another world title shot and a hopefully a decent payday. But Gary Russell he's strange. Like he fights once a year, and it's like if you're gonna fight once a year, that's not great. But if you're gonna do it, why isn't that unification fights or big fights against the other champions, or maybe going up a division or whatever, big marquee names? But to fight once a year and be against Kiko Martinez is like a bit underwhelming. You know what I mean?
Especially with the talent he has.
He's an amazing fighter. You know, a quality fighter. I don't know what it is, if it's down to his team or down to him or what, but he should be fighting a lot more regular.
Well, did you see his comments lately saying he's a free agent?
I've seen a few photographs of him and Eddie Hearn and stuff, which obviously you can draw your own conclusions to that. But when you have a fighter starting to talk like that and say I'm a free agent, then it seems to me he's maybe not happy with things and at his home. With his own team and management at the minute, so I'm just reading in between the lines here. But he's a quality fighter, and he'd be a great fighter, I suppose, for any of the top promoters to get. He's a brilliant fighter, brilliant fighter, very very fast, and in my opinion, out of all the champions, Guy Russell will be the hardest fight.
Yeah,
definitely.
Okay. Now we have to talk about Tommy Cole. That's the reason we're here. Goes up against very experienced Chris Algieri. How's he been in camp, Tommy?
Tommy's been good. I only seen him at the end of camp because I've had a long break and he's been grafting away. But he looks in great shape. Tommy's a small light welterweight, but he's filled out for this one. Like, he looks bigger.
Chris is looking huge though as well.
He's massive. He's really big, and I think that's going to be his downfall. I don't think he's a light welterweight anymore. I think he's a welterweight boiled down to the light welter. And it's interesting, this fight up until about 5 days ago was a 10-round fight. Now it's a 12-round fight, which I think suits Tommy Coyle because Tommy's fit, he's aggressive, he's going to be on Algieri from the start. And Algieri, we've seen that he's really gritty. Like, he's a bit of a fancy Dan, he's a nice style and he moves around, looks apart, you know, good looking man, he can really box. But we've seen him against Provodnikov in that fight where he had to dig deep, he had the swollen eye, he had to get up off a canvas, and he has a lot of grit. But I think he's in the wrong weight division, and I think that's going to be his sticking point. I think Tommy will come on strong second half of the fight, and I think Tommy Coyle's going to win this fight. And I'm just saying that being biased because I'm with him, but trying to think rationally with it, I think that Algieri's too big.
But if Tommy can do that, obviously Chris has gone the distance with Manny Pacquiao, fought a prime Amir Khan and did decent enough against Amir. if he can beat Chris Algieri, then surely it's got to be a world title next.
It's a huge win. And then, yeah, it is, and it leaves, you're talking about potentially a world title against who? Morris Hooker, maybe?
Possibly. I know he's got that Jack Catterall situation.
Well, that's the thing, so there's an awkward situation goes on then. If Tommy gets a Morris Hooker fight, then Jack Catterall is the mandatory for Hooker. You know what I mean? And they're both training with Jamie, so, yeah, strange situation that the boys will have to deal with, but, you know, Tommy Coyle is in this game. I don't think he was ever in this game to win world titles, if I'm being honest, and if he's being honest and just speaking to him, but he's in this position now where he's one fight away from a world title. He's in Madison Square Gardens, a place that he never thought he'd be. I think you're going to see an amazing performance from Tommy Coyle, and I think that you look at his fights and how he fights and the excitement he brings. I think he deserves a world title shot, and I hope to God that he wins this one.
Talking about the other boys in your gym, Martin Murray's making his comeback, if you like. I know it wasn't that much time out in the ring, and Rocky Fielding also returns on the same bill, MTK bill. I mean, for small old shows, it's not bad. You also got Terry Flanagan on that bill.
Great bill, quality bill. I've seen Flanagan out of there recently. You've got that. They have that Australian kid as well. Is he on it?
Is he?
I think so. What do you call him? Is he a featherweight, super featherweight?
I haven't seen that. I didn't see that. When was that announced?
Maybe I'm making that up. I don't know. No.
Who are you talking about? TJ Doheny?
No. There's another guy.
Australian, did you say?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Proper Australian. TJ's Irish.
No. I thought you. I didn't know. I thought you said Irish.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Chris?
What are you saying?
Australian guy, featherweight, super featherweight, something like that. Can fight a bit.
Jackson?
No.
No. I don't
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel?
No, I'm drawing a blank, sorry.
What weight?
I think he's like my weight, featherweight. He's meant to be alright, I've never seen him.
That's a box rec moment, that.
Maybe I've just made this up.
Have you?
Have I had a dream about this?
Yeah, you might have done,
Nathaniel is boxing to Australian.
Who knows? We'll
Yeah.
check after.
So
Yeah.
Nathaniel might be on that bill as well, so it's a quality bill. It's a quality bill, and a small hall show with Rocky Fielding, who just fought Canelo, Martin Murray, who's been in more world title fights than I've had Sunday dinners, and
Flanners.
and yeah, Flanagan, and obviously Nathaniel too, so it's a brilliant bill.
We can't forget Nathaniel. Yeah, I think that's about it, Carl. Yeah, come on, let's do one on the heavyweight division. Why not? We have got a massive heavyweight fight coming up. Joshua defends his belts rather, makes his American debut. But outside the ring, obviously, it's all been about Wilder. He's just announced his deal with Ortiz for the rematch. What are your thoughts on that situation? Do you ever think we're going to get Joshua Wilder?
I think we'll get it. Yeah. I don't think it's going to come anytime soon, though. But I think it'll happen. I'd say the two boys probably want to fight each other. There's always, you know what it's like in this game, politics, but and everyone wants to have the upper hand. But the fight will happen, and it's a kind of legacy fight for both of them. You know what I mean? It's one of it doesn't have to happen once. It could happen 3 times. You know what I mean? 4 times. They can fight each other.
Well, the money will get bigger as well.
Of course. Especially if they're good fights. The top heavyweights should be fighting each other. But obviously with different TV platforms and stuff, it's going to be difficult. But I think it'll happen.
It's a shame. Out of the 3 of them, we've only had it once where Fury and Wilder obviously fought.
Yeah.
Didn't get that rematch. And I was kind of hoping after this Saturday, Joshua did get the win, we'd just get that Wilder fight. But obviously he's penned in to fight Ortiz.
When is the Ortiz fight?
September, they're saying.
Okay.
Pay-per-view show.
Okay.
Well,
it rules them out probably. The Ortiz fight rules Wilder out probably till the beginning of the new year. But I'm imagining Joshua wouldn't want to fight until the beginning of the new year.
I think Joshua will fight once more this year.
Oh, will he?
Yeah.
Okay.
December probably.
Right. Okay. So well, is Wilder going to be ready to fight in December? Doubt it.
No.
But that fight could happen. I think it may happen. I hope it to happen in 2020 towards the back end, and if it does, then I don't think anyone can complain about that.
the thing with that is though, Ortiz was doing really well against Wilder in the first fight. Say he goes and gets beat, or Joshua has his WBO mandatory against Usyk.
Yeah, that's the risk you take with anyone in any fight, and letting fights brew. There's always going to be a risk that someone's going to get beat, and then that's probably when the fight becomes easier to make. Because both of these guys think I'm the top guy in the division. So if one of them gets beat, they're no longer the top guy in the division, and they'll come with their hand out saying, "Do you want to have a fight now?" So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
Carl Frampton, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV in Chris Lloyd's room. Actually, before I let you go, how's the podcast going, Chris?
Going good. Going good. We are, am I right in saying this, the #1 boxing podcast in the UK?
Really? You know Eddie Hearn'S started his own one?
Ah, fuck him. No, I'm only joking. I seen the Eddie Hearn one. I haven't seen it. I seen that he started one. I was like, we were the top guys, but he's got like Rooney, KSI, which is going to do huge numbers. That KSI one, well, fucking YouTube weirdos. YouTube weirdos, you YouTube weirdo. No, but he's smart. He's gonna. I think we'll be #2, which is a shame, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Who's the most interesting person you've had on?
Chris Eubank.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that was a bit of a
that was an easy question. Interesting, yeah. Not my favourite guest. Difficult. Was it difficult?
Diamante was good.
Hour and a half. Diamante was brilliant. We sat in a cigar lounge, had some cigars.
Did you repeat everything, or?
No, I didn't do that. He explained why he done that though, and I thought it was pretty interesting. Great talker. It was a good episode. But I like the one with Lewis Van Pooch.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Journeyman.
Yeah.
That one. Kerry Kay's one. Brilliant as well. Martin Murray.
You're just plugging it now.
Yeah.
Why not?
No, but the smaller ones, you know what I mean? So Eubank is obviously the one that gets the big numbers, but them sort of ones are very good. John Dennon was very good as well.
Numbers were shit, so go and watch John Dennon.
Watch John Dennon. Try and get the numbers up. Numbers aren't great on the John Dennon one, but it was a good podcast.
Did you think Eubank Senior was a little bit condescending towards you?
A little bit, yeah.
I don't know. No, I don't know. I think he was more condescending towards Chris.
What did he say to Chris?
No, I just thought he was a dickhead.
Yeah, he's a good judge of character.
Look, we all know what Chris Eubank is like, and when the cameras were off, he was
the same.
Nah, he was all right. He was nice to me. He was nicer to me than he was to Chris.
Well, I had won a world title. Once he knew he won a world title, he was good too.
That's the category, isn't it?
Yeah. Dolphin 25-metre swimming badge from 1995 didn't cut it. So.
Nah, he's it was hard work, just because it's just you don't know what he's talking about half the time.
All right, Carl Frampton. We will catch up, no doubt, soon. Maybe, hopefully for you, it'll be Coogan next time.
Nah, I've been demoted to UMAR AFL UMAR.
Did you notice much difference?
No, you're very good. My favourite AFL guy though is Andy McCart.
Really?
Love Andy.
He's a top guy.
I'm only joking. I do like Andy. These are all very good. Who is there now? You, Andy and Coogan?
Oh, we had a new signing yesterday.
Who?
Have a guess. We've mentioned the surname in the last 2 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Eubank?
Not senior.
Yeah, but that's not the one you're thinking of.
Oh, Eubank's daughter?
Emily Eubank.
Oh, what's she like? Good
She
at
was
it?
actually very, for her first interview, I'm a little bit worried now, but she was actually very good.
That's good.
But
it's good that you're giving women jobs as well. Well done, Coogan.
At one time, the Eubanks wouldn't even do IFL interviews. Now there's a Eubank working for them. All right, listen. Best of luck with Tommy Call this Saturday night, and as I said, we'll catch up soon.
Thank you.
William Hill sponsors IFL TV.
I'm the man to beat Daniel Dubois. You're going to sleep.